Good morning! Welcome, hello, it is I, your host, Pogo Kiddo, with yet another episode of Redstone Lapis Lazuli. Hello, hi, yeah. Thank you for indulging me in my little session of harmonica playing. It's like the only time I play it. It was like for that like 5 seconds, for that 30 seconds, whatever, 15 seconds intro. So it was nice, it was neat. And then I get into it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. So hey, hello, welcome. Checking out the stuff here. Here, let's begin. Right, let me get right into it. So over here, let me show you the thing. Like the game is evolving. I didn't even know it. Okay, so over here, I want to show you this. This is like the cool thing. So we're gonna head over here to Chauncey's location. And now, see, I added some torches because every time I walked over here, it was scary, and I would get jumped by monsters every time. It was awful. So so yeah, I like put a bunch of torches and lights everywhere, and I gave her some, and then I realized like it's hard to make it's hard to make concrete. Like the only way to make concrete really is with a lot of sand and a lot of gravel. And I just made the way to get more sand. I just made it. And gravel is so common you can find it if you just go mining, which I did. But that's what, but she's doing pretty good. She's made some big advancements. Like look at this. This is huge. But the thing here I see is that she's got a little bit of peak concrete powder left, some sand, but no gravel, and that's what you need to make concrete. So I'm gonna go get her some gravel. Check this out, 2 horses. Ooh, this is a wild horse. Ooh, not anymore. Hey, I needed a horse too. Great. Maybe I'll come back with a lead. But she's got the pink dye. She's got some sand. Now I just got to get her some gravel. But look at this. She got the moss carpet going. She's got the flowers, the azalea hedges. Look at this azalea hedges. Look at the glass. So nice. So nice. Yeah, I like the azalea hedges. That's really cool. I gotta start working on my garden. I don't even have a garden yet. And she's got I think this is like for her horses. Although this is a brand new one. This one just spawned in here. I think this one is yeah, this one was already tamed. I think she made this place for this horse. And then this one just spawned in, and I tamed him. So I need a horse. So I'm gonna come back and get you. Ha ha ha. Oh no! Oh, all right. I'm all right. Hey, here's another horse. Maybe I'll just tame this horse. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna tame you because you're fast. Okay, I'll come back. Stay there. So I'll come back in a bit. I want to show off this flower farm. It's a design by Prowl, but I just made a little bit of a change to better show off the wiring, because like a lot of times when people look at Minecraft, they're like, I can't understand anything. None of this makes sense to me. And if it makes no sense to me, then I can't see the beauty in it that like everyone else sees. So like the first key is to make it make sense. So I have to go do that. But first, let me go get this horse. Because I do need a horse. Terribly bad. I had 2 horses. I wanted to breed them eventually, but I also needed to get powdered snow to make that thing. And but look how far the snow is. You can't even see it from down here now. It's a brown horse. Nice. Oh, he's all right speed. I mean, you get the horse, like, the speed's okay. He goes a little bit faster than me running, but the real key is that he can run up the steps no problem. Like, it doesn't slow him down like it slows me down to run up steps. Like, for me, going up steps, it's annoying. It's really, really annoying going up steps. Every step is a hop. Every step is a button press, is a key press. I'm jamming my space key. Every step. I hate it. But for the horse, they just like walk like normal. So it's easy for them. I like them. That's why it's nice. And then how high can you jump? I don't know. Maybe you're not such a good horse. Let me see how high you can jump. If you can't jump two spots, you're not gonna help me. Ow. Like right here. You can't jump up that. I don't know if you're any good. Oh, there you can do it. Okay. You can do it. Put your back into it. All right. Your legs into it. I don't know. All right, in you go. Hang out here for a bit until I make a better place. To another place. Tell me where. Wait, how does it go? There's that song about climbing up into a space. Oh no, I forgot to bring the leash or the saddle. So I can't test this horse. I'm gonna just come with me, horse. The horse is like, no, I can't fit. All right, stay in there forever then. You're not my horse then. Okay, here is a flower farm. This is a flower farm. She needed a lot of dye, a lot of pink dye to make a lot of pink concrete. I think I overwhelmed her with the pink concrete or with the pink dye. Now she needs like concrete. And so I was getting the components for the concrete. So now the game has changed for me. I used to be like making stuff. Now I'm like, I'm just going to get stuff for her and see what she makes. So this is the design by Prowl. Here, I'm going to take off the fancy colors so you can see it better. All right. What this does is this is a big flower making machine. This makes flowers. And you can watch the video on Prowl. He explains it really, really clearly. And all I did was separate out I made the control panel a little bit more accessible because it was inaccessible up there. So I made that more accessible. I made a platform to make this more accessible. I raised up the electronics, the wiring, to separate it out of the machine so you could see it better. If you want it to be more compact, follow Prowl's video. He makes it the most compact way you can do it, the most efficient way you can do it. Pure efficiency. What is there's that video game Civilization 4 on the PC, and they got Leonard Nimoy to voice all of the quotes for all of the technological advances, and those are now like ingrained in my head. No other Civ will come close to Civ 4 because of Leonard Nimoy's voice. Leonard Nimoy gave that game legendary status. It was Leonard Nimoy. I mean, it was a good game too. I love Civ 4. It was a great game. But Leonard Nimoy's voice made it into like awesomeness. And one of the things Leonard Nimoy said was, what he quoted someone was a designer is finished not when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing more to take away. And and Prowl made the most efficient way possible, where you could not take away any blocks. You could not. So anything here is me adding to what he's already made. And he let me do this because he made the most efficient method possible. That's what I talk about. When I talk about astral plane, like it's just a coded way of saying like the conceptual realm. It's just a coded way of talking. The astral plane. It's a way of talking to people who didn't get to go to formal school. But they're smart. But they didn't get to go to formal school. So you have to be able to talk to them in a way that they can explain, that you can explain to them without using formal language. The formal terminology. So when people say astral plane, they're not talking about like, you know, I guess they could be talking about something that I don't know about. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know what they're talking about. I can't speak for them. I don't know, but the way I understand it. How about that? The way I understand it and the way I live with it is that they're referencing the conceptual realm, the astral plane. When your imagination, when you think about stuff and like mathematics and stuff, you're not looking like, well, maybe some people look at stuff and be like, you know, one, that's two. Okay. But you can do that without looking at anything. I can go 1, 2, without looking at anything because I see it in here. Okay. So but that's like the purest you can get to. 1 + 1 = 2. That's as pure as you can get. If you add anything else to that, it's superfluous. It's extra that you add on in order to make it more digestible, more understandable for the person. But the purity of it, the irreducible part is 1 + 1 = 2. That's irreducible. You can't go any lower than that. You can say 1 apple and 1 apple is 2 apples, and 1 wood block and another wood block is 2 wood blocks, but the apple and the wood block are superfluous to the purity of 1 + 1 = 2. That's the astral realm where there's nothing attached to it. There's no thing. There's no thing. It's a point. It's just points. It's pure points. Pure abstraction. That's the thing. That's the word. Abstraction. Pure abstraction. Pure. And it can be pure because there's literally nothing attached to it. It's outer space, literally nothing attached to it. That's why it's pure. It's not purity of form. It's purity of idea. That's where the purity comes from. So the thing that Proud makes, his design, the thing that the thing that Proud 8413 makes, his design has absolutely no fat to trim. There's nothing to take off. It is the purest reflection of his design. Anything else I add to it is extra. But the extra, just because it's extra doesn't mean it's bad. Of course not. In fact, the fact that he gave me such a skinny design lets me put on all this extra stuff because I can see it very clearly what everything does. I can see really, really clearly what everything does. That's why it's easy for me to separate things out and make it more accessible because of the purity of his design. So here, let me show you what's going on here. So now that okay. So what you do is you take the flour you want and you put it there. This right here is a dispenser filled with bone meal. And the bone meal is filled by this box, which I will fill with more and more bone meal as I need. And it feeds into this thing. That's one part. The next part is these that's 1, 2, 3 dispensers there. 1, 2, 3 dispensers there. Those guys are also filled. Oh no, those guys are filled with water. 1 bucket of water. Okay, that's one part. Oh, I fell down. The final part. The final part is this comparator clock. Now, you remember this design? It's a real simple design. There's a block, a comparator reading that block, and a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this comparator's in subtract mode. That's it. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the fastest thing they can make. That's a clock. Remember this design, because remember where it comes from. We've seen this before. I've seen this before. So this design, hold on to this. Let's go somewhere else. Let me show you. Over here. So we're in the gold farm. Here it is again. Here's that design again. It's the comparator in subtract mode, coming off of a block, going in a circle. So this, we know this is a comparator clock. It goes as fast as possible. Okay. So that's what it's doing. It's just ticking as fast as possible. So that's what that is. And I think that was neat to be able to see it repeated, that design repeated. Okay, but in this instance, what it's doing is it's going as fast as possible. It's not going right now because it's being powered. It's turned on by this torch here. So since it's on, it won't do anything. This doesn't change. Okay, so it's going really, really fast. And that's sending out power pulses in 2 directions, this direction and that direction. When it goes in this direction, it hits all these dispensers, and then it goes over here and hits all these dispensers. So all these guys are filled with water buckets. So they dump their water bucket and they pick it back up. They dump it, pick it back up, dump it, pick it back up as fast as possible. All right, on the other line, the other wire, it goes down over here to this repeater. Now, because it goes into a repeater, it delays it by 1 tick. That means the pulse that hits this one is set off by 1 tick by the pulse that hits this one. So it goes bump, 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 bump. Okay, so what happens is this dumps water. This turns off. All right. This picks up water. This turns on. What is this turning on? That bone meal dispenser right here. Which bone meals this block, but it also bone meals all these blocks next to it. So when it dumps water, this turns off. When it picks up the water, this dispenses bone meal and turns all these to flowers. Then this one turns off and this one turns back on, dumping the water, which pushes all the flowers into these new hoppers, into these hoppers underneath. These hoppers underneath dump the flowers into the storage system. So here, let's make some blue flowers. So I'm gonna take that one off. I'm gonna put a blue flower there. I'm gonna turn the machine on. And I just kick back. Let's watch it happen. So the bone meal is bone mealing the flour, which makes copies of that flour. And then the water buckets knock the flour off, which then the flour gets picked up by the hopper down here and falls into our system, into the storage system. So with red, yellow, and red, you can make a lot of colors. I mean, red, yellow, and blue. You can make a lot of colors. Ha 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 ha. That's it. I just make mass-produced flowers to make dyes, whatever color dyes I want. I tried using powdered snow. It didn't work. So that's it. And you can use whatever flower you want. Ta-da! That way, we will never, ever, ever run out of dye. Never run out of dye for whatever color you want. But now, I have to make a wool farm, a sheep farm, which is what I need to do anyways, because I need to move all these animals. So I can make a path. I can make a nice path through here for everyone. Ta-da! Oh yeah, and then I planted, I got some cocoa beans, so I can make brown. So I got almost all the colors. I got some ink sacks. Yeah. Oh yeah, green. I need green, and green comes from the cactuses. That's what I need to go get to start up. So soon we will be able to create anything, any color. Ah ha 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 ha. This is like the first farm I made, and it's barely up to this point. It's a slow farm. That's why it was the first one I made. So you gotta cook cactuses to turn it into green dye. I should probably get another one because I then you need green dye to make light green dye. So I need double the green dye. Plus you need green dye to make teal. So need a lot of green. Glad I started that farm on the first episode of this world. All right. So here we go. I'm planning something here. I'm planning something. Yeah, because this used to be the enchanting corner, and now it's not. Now the enchanting corner is over here. How enchanting! How enchanting! So that's nice. That's working out. Um, did I already show you the? Probably not. Oh, okay. There's a couple things before I go anywhere. Before I go. So I started making tinted glass because by random happenstance, as I was looking for a goal or a mine shaft, I ran into this amethyst cave. Or this amethyst geode. So I knocked out a lot of the walls so I could grow as many crystals as I can. And I didn't realize how fast they would grow. This is like fantastic. I just gotta harvest these, and this is enough for a lot. And isn't that nice? Ha ha ha. I can make a whole like shrine out of this stuff. But I gotta be really careful harvesting. Because if you break the budding site, then you don't get anything, and the whole thing breaks, and no more crystals grow. So you gotta be real careful. You gotta like real careful. Look behind it. Look behind the mine, the pick, to see what's behind it in case you miss. Like this. Like yeah. Some of these aren't even ready. I don't know. I can't, it's kind of hard to tell when they're ready and when they're not. Like, are those ready? Probably not. Like, which one's ready? Is that one ready? I don't know. Hard to tell. I think they are. Let's see here. Well, I've got 52. Hey, that's pretty good. Ha ha ha. So there's that one. I gotta make a train line for her to come here. I don't know. How often does she come here? I don't know. But it would make it easier. Because clearly her mind is like almost non-existent. I don't really have a mine. I guess I do, but I don't spend much time there. But I'm out of redstone, so I gotta like spend a couple hours just digging up redstone. But I don't have a proper mining base here. There's like no item sorter to keep all the blocks. There's no item elevator. I didn't think I was gonna make that into I didn't think I was gonna make that into a mining base. I thought my mining base was gonna be over here. Can't see nothing. It's a big cave, right? With the big window. So I kept working on the skeleton spawner. And now it is a thing of beauty. I mean, you just turn it on. And you sit here and you watch the skeleton spawn in. This is why I needed the amethyst crystals to make tinted glass. So you can see in, but the light doesn't go in. So it's pitch black in there. It's pitch black. Pretty sure. That side might let light in, but not enough. I mean, there they go. Now they're spawning. Yeah. And so now I've turned a thing of evil that just spawns skeletons. I've turned this thing of evil into a force of good. I separate the skeletons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, perfect. From their bones. I take the skeletons from their bones. I keep this. That's what that machine does. See, goes up here, and goes up there, and the bones go in there. The arrows go in here. The bows go right there on the extra crap, and when it's full, it's gonna fall into the cactus and get deleted. So it doesn't lag up the server. Unnecessary stuff lying around. Yeah. And it's easy. And it's fun. Because I just hang out here. I can do whatever. And in the meantime, I can pretty much make bones. Just make bones. And bones are so useful for everything. And you can see they die and then they go into that hopper minecart. So, and go into the system. So they die right here. and then it gets dropped into this hopper system. It goes up there. So efficient. So nice. So this is like an item sorter. The way this works, it's complicated. I'll explain it later. But yeah, it's nice. This is great. Turn that off. Before I get into some talking here. I need to like leave the house. I need to get out of here. I've been cooped up in here forever. All right. So what's been going on? What's been going on? I don't want to sit here like this. I wonder if people are starting to come around to understand what's happened since 2016. Because the events right now are tied directly to Donald Trump's first impeachment. Do you remember Donald Trump's first impeachment? Donald Trump was impeached the first time. He was impeached twice. The first time because Congress had already passed a law to give Ukraine money to buy American weapons to fight the Russians. They already passed that law. And Donald Trump wanted the President Zelensky, the same guy, to announce that he was going to start investigations into Hunter Biden. He didn't have to do it. Donald Trump didn't want Zelensky to actually do it. He just wanted Zelensky to announce it. So Donald Trump could then launch a media campaign of lies to discredit Joe Biden, the same way he did it to Hillary Clinton. The same way. Hey, I didn't even notice that there we go. It was the same thing. It was the same thing. It was no different. He wanted to do the same thing. And Zelensky, like back then, he was under mad pressure because he knew the Russians were coming. He knew the Russians were going to declare war on him. He knew. Unless the reforms that the United States and the EU wanted to come out of Ukraine would essentially kick out all of the pro-Russian people in Ukraine and all of the mobsters. All of the pro-Russian people and the mobsters in Ukraine were on Team Putin. They were there because of Putin. So if Zelensky did what the United States and the EU wanted and kicked out all the Russians and the mobsters, he knew the Russian that Putin would come for him. He knew. He understood it. So now he's asking the United States, please, United States, help me out to defend myself against the Russians who I know are going to come get me. And Donald Trump was like, no, you have to announce these investigations into my political rival or you get nothing. So Zelensky was in a bad situation. Like, he's got Putin over here pressuring him to sign this agreement that would put Ukraine in a bad position. He's got Donald Trump on the other side pressuring him to break the law and strengthen Russia. And somehow Zelensky was strong. He maintained. He did not give in. How did he do it? I don't know. I would have been scared poopless. And I'm pretty sure I think he was scared poopless. I mean, he has Russian assassins coming to assassin teams coming to kill him. He has Russian assassin teams trying to kill him. So, yeah, I'm sure he's scared poopless, but he held on. He held on, and he refused to announce bogus investigations. He refused to get involved in American politics. That was Zelensky. He said, no, I'm not going to get involved in American politics. I have nothing to do with American politics. Leave me out of American politics. That's what Zelensky did. So Donald Trump stopped him from getting weapons. So Zelensky was in a bad situation by the time Biden rolled into office. When Biden rolled into office, yeah, Biden gave him the weapons and stuff. But Putin had 4 years to put pressure on Zelensky to give up. Because remember, Putin did not want to go to war. He did not want to do it. He did not want to go to war. He wanted to take over the country without firing a shot, like he did to Belarus. Belarus is puppeted by Putin. The Belarus people, they didn't want this. They voted for Alexander Navalny to be president and to lead them, the nation of Belarus, to be a democratic nation. But Putin didn't like this. So Putin tried to kill Navalny by poisoning him. But it didn't work. It didn't kill Navalny. Navalny recovered, and he came back to lead the people to democracy. So what did Putin do? Putin captured him and imprisoned him on bogus charges in order to break his spirit. But Navalny, Navalny. His spirit is strong. He's resisting. He won't give in. He refuses to give in. He knows that it's bogus charges. So in the meantime, while Navalny is in a Russian prison, there's another puppet in Belarus who's helping Putin invade Ukraine. So that's awful. But that's how Putin wanted to take over Ukraine, the same way he took over Belarus, by installing a puppet government and staging a coup, because then he wouldn't have to use his military, and militaries cost a lot of money. But Zelensky refused to give in, refused to be corrupted. He held on to democracy. So Putin was forced to invade, to use the military. If Putin didn't use the military and allowed Ukraine to become a democratic nation on the border of Russia, it calls into question everything about Putin. Because Putin is sitting there telling his Russian people that, oh yeah, democracy failed. You can't use democracy. Democracy doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's better to listen to Putin. That's what Putin is telling his people. But if Ukraine is right there on the border and they're democratic and they're doing great without autocratic oligarchs messing everything up, then what's Putin going to tell his people? His people are going to say, hey, Putin, you're not delivering. We don't want you there anymore. So Putin cannot have a democratic nation on his border, because then he can't keep up the lie that democracy is worse than autocracy. Then he can't do it. It's built into his model. It's built in. It's built in. The seeds of his own destruction are built in because he cannot acknowledge truth. If he acknowledges truth, he is destroyed. So we are tied. So this man Putin is, and this other man Zelensky are tied directly to Donald Trump, which is tied directly to his impeachment, his first impeachment. And in his first impeachment, all the Republicans acquitted him. They voted to acquit him, to say that he's not guilty. Now, Republicans will tell you, it's quoted in the paper. They were quoted. They said this. Republicans said this. Oh yeah. We believe, Republican senators said, oh yeah, we believe that Donald Trump did extort the Ukrainian president. We agree that yes, he did do this. The evidence is overwhelming that Donald Trump extorted the Ukrainian president. However, the Republicans acquitted Donald Trump because they said, well, but this crime was not so severe as to warrant impeachment, removal. The Republicans agreed that Donald Trump extorted the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, but they said it wasn't so severe of a crime that it warranted removal from the office of the presidency. That's what they said. So it's going to be hard to see how they impeach Joe Biden if extortion isn't bad enough to remove a president. The Republicans are going to have to find a crime worse than extortion and treason. They have to find a crime worse than treason. Because remember, Donald Trump did this in coordination with Putin, because Donald Trump and Putin wanted to get rid of NATO and keep NATO out and America out of the situation as Putin took over Ukraine. It was never supposed to come to military conflict. But here's the other evidence that it was part of a grand plan. The trucker convoy that's coming to DC is being organized by Roger Stone, who also organized the Canadian trucker convoy that paralyzed Canada. And they timed it to be at the same time as Putin's gambit in Ukraine. They wanted to time it to create the most instability and chaos in the Western world as they could. But it didn't work out. The plan failed. And all the context for their actions was removed. It was taken away. And that's how come I know you can tell it's planned. Because even though all the context was removed, they're still doing it. They're still moving the plan. They're still doing the plan, even though all the reasoning is gone. Well, then, if all the reasoning is gone, but you're still doing the plan, what's the real reasoning? Because it's not what you're saying. So these trucker convoy is descending on DC, but they don't have a reason. None of them really know what's going on, but they're doing it. And it creates chaos. And that's exactly what Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin want. They want chaos. They are chaotic evil. They are no friend of order. Now, I'm not saying like overarching order is this, I'm a neutral guy, right? I like, I like a balance between order and chaos. I like the balance between the two. But for Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, they're absolutely for chaos. Because the chaos provides cover for their actions, which are diabolical. Which are evil. So they're chaotic evil. Yeah, here, let me show. Okay. So here's how I understand it. Here's how I make my here's my little cosmology. Like my metaphysics. All right. You have two worlds, right? You already know the astral world, the astral plane, right? This is the realm of ideas. Pure abstraction. Pure abstraction. There's no stuff attached to it. Outer space. There's no thing. There's points. You can make a point, and you can have several points, and those points you can draw relationships between them, but there's no thing, no stuff attached to it. Okay? So there's the astral plane. As opposed, the exact opposite of the astral plane is the ethereal plane. Whereas this is emptiness and void and nothingness, pure abstraction. This over here, the ethereal plane, is pure emotion, pure feeling, pure heat, fire, stuff, cloudiness. There is so much stuff everywhere. It's all around you and you can't see anything. It's crammed, full of crap, and it's formless. There's no form to anything. It's just madness. Like over here, you can see clear lines, but there's nothing. There's no thing. You can see everything, clear lines in the void, but there's nothing there. That's why you can draw lines, because there's nothing there and you can see easy. Here in the ethereal plane, you can't see nothing. It's a big blob. It's super hot there, and it's cold. It's freezing cold out here too. Over here, it's super hot. Like there's absolute fire and cloudiness and everything everywhere, but there's nothing's defined. There's no definition. It's just a big blob of raging plasma heat. This is the ethereal plane. All the heat, all the energy, all the stuff, but no form whatsoever. Nothing is defined. Everything is a big blob that you can't separate out anything. It's just, and over here, everything's pure, clean, crisp, defined, but there's nothing there. It's empty. It's cold. It's ice cold. There's no energy. It's just like, it's abstract. It's like nothing. You can't touch anything. There's nothing there. Literally nothing there. Here, everything, stuff everywhere. But it's formless. You can't define anything. So too much heat, too much energy, too much stuff. You can't see nothing, but you got it all. There's tons of energy. You got rage. You got heat. You're on fire. You got everything over here. Pure, crisp, clean. You can see and delineate and abstract everything, but you got nothing. No heat, no fire, no energy, no stuff to materialize anything. You can't come to nothing. So the in-between of these two, is the material plane. It's the place where the abstract overlaps with the material. So you get the energy from the material and the stuff, but you get the ideas and the lines and the delineation from here. And you pull from both of these. So I don't know if this is a metaphysics or if this is a magic. I don't know what this is. But you got to pull from both sides. You got to pull from both sides to make anything happen, to make the magic happen. You need this combined with this to make the this. All right, to go back to Russia real quick. I want to do this. I did that one. I forgot why, just to refresh myself. Okay, in my own head. Okay, to go back to Russia. Okay. So, this is the Venn diagram. On one side, in one circle, you have Republicans who did nothing when Trump froze Ukrainian military aid as part of quid pro quo. And on the other circle, you have Republicans who tweeted support for Ukraine right now. So there's a bunch of Republicans out there saying, "Go Ukraine, fight those Russians." Those Republicans are also the Republicans who said, "We're not going to give you any aid. Fucking die. We want you to die because we want the Russians to take over Ukraine." They're the same people. They're the same people. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird how they're the same people? The same people who acquitted Donald Trump and who told the Ukrainians to die are also telling the Ukrainians to fight the Russians. That's weird. They say to fight the Russians, but their actions were, "No, we want the Russians to kill you." Why don't their actions and their words match? So that's and here's another thing. Here's another thing. Here's another one. All right, this group of people and this group of people are the same group. Here's another one. People who are anti-mask and anti-vaccine. They're in this circle too. So, when you remember, Republicans are also pro-Russia and are also anti-vaccine, then you go over here. Mark Joseph Stern, an insubordinate anti-vaxxer, is currently the commanding officer of a guided missile destroyer. Navy leaders won't deploy the warship while he's in charge. They don't trust him. But a judge won't let them reassign him, citing his religious freedom. So you got a Trump judge, a Republican judge, siding with a Republican officer, commanding officer, who's an anti-vaxxer, which is a Republican thing. And because of this, they stopped the United States military, the U.S. Navy, from deploying their ship because the judge won't let them reassign this commander to get him off so they can put someone on there they trust and get the ship out there. Now the U.S. ship is stuck. That means Republicans who are on Team Russia have stopped the military, the Navy, from deploying a ship. That's pretty good. Putin, through Trump, through his misinformation of his COVID misinformation, infected a U.S. military commander and a U.S. judge, which stopped the U.S. Navy from deploying a U.S. Navy ship. That's a pretty good hack. That's a pretty good hack. That's a pretty good hack. So Don Moyen notes, the judge has effectively taken a 10,000-ton ship, $1.8 billion guided missile destroyer out of commission. As the Navy builds up its Navy presence in Europe to guard against further Russian aggression, it is down a ship. It is down a ship because a judge, right? Just want to point out that we had a whole moral panic about the dangers of the woke military, but its it's an anti-vaxxer pleading religious exemptions, preventing a Navy destroyer from being used. So the Republicans who are anti-vax, have stopped a Navy warship from deploying. Republicans are also anti-woke. Well, what is this woke? The only ones I hear saying woke nowadays are Republicans. What is this woke that they're talking about? I don't understand it. I hear them say it all the time. It must be a bad thing because I hear Republicans say it all the time. But wait, I looked it up, right? I looked it up. I went to find out. And this is what happens. This is a pattern. This is a cycle of co-option of black language. And I would speculate that it follows a pattern. Black folk will say something. They'll use a word. And then allies of black folk will say, yeah, dude, yeah, we identify with your cause. We will say it too. And then skeptical contingent allies will hear, they'll be like, here's the word. I don't know though. I don't know. And then people who oppose the word or will challenge the word be like, I don't know. What's up with this word? Well, I don't know. What's up with this word? They keep saying it, but maybe the word's not so good. And then you have strip opponents. Then you have strip opponents of the word. Like, I don't know about that word. That word sounds kind of bad. That word that you guys are using seems kind of bad. It seems kind of shady. I don't know. And then you have anti-black people start using the word. Oh, we have the word. We have those people, that word people. Those word people are there. It's those word people. That's the pattern that goes on. So let's apply it to woke. So the first one was black folk. Black folks say stay woke. Because what does that mean? Stay aware to the white supremacy society that we live in. That's what it says. Stay aware of white supremacy. Be aware of white supremacy. So allies say, yes, we're with you. Stay aware of white supremacy. And then you have skeptical contingent allies. They say, well, what does it mean to be woke? What do you mean? What does it mean to be woke? It means to be aware of white supremacy. It's obvious. Then you have challengers. Folks try so hard to be woke. What? Now we have opponents. The wokeness is going too far now. All this wokeness going too far. And then finally you have anti-black folks. Wokeness will be the downfall of Western white civilization. Oh, okay. Note that, okay. Ted Cruz mocks woke, emasculated military as compared to strong Russians. Woke. Wall Street Journal. Has the military gone woke? In the Hill. A woke military is no defense at all. Why defense bill in its current form must not pass. In other words, like why, like about, The woke takeover of the U.S. military endangers us all. So all of those four are right-wing critiques of the military, of the U.S. military, saying its inclusivity was a weakness. And the word they used was woke. When they use the word woke, where on this are they using it? Are they using it to say, be aware of white supremacy? Nope. Are they saying be aware of white supremacy? Nope. Do they ask, what does it mean to be woke? Nope. Do they say, folks try to be so hard to be woke? Nope. They say the wokeness is going too far, and wokeness will be the downfall of the U.S. military. Who says it? Anti-black folk. That's who's saying this. Anti-black folk is saying that wokeness will be the downfall of the U.S. military. And it's the same people who use the word woke who are anti-vax. The same people who are anti-vax are stopping the U.S. military from deploying a ship. They're stopping the military. Anti-black, anti-woke people are stopping the U.S. military to help Russia. Do you get it? Do you get the connections now? Are you starting to get the rage connected with the points to make the stuff? Because you should be fucking pissed. Anti-black, anti-woke people, anti-vax people are attacking the U.S. military in service to Putin's autocratic takeover of the world. I mean, how much clearer do I need to make it? I don't understand where the mix-up is. Republicans are a white supremacist force. Republicans are white supremacy. A hero of white supremacists is Kyle Rittenhouse. If Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero to white supremacists, what does that make Kyle Rittenhouse? What is it about Kyle Rittenhouse that would make him a hero to white supremacists? Is it because Kyle Rittenhouse, the actions of Kyle Rittenhouse are consistent with a white supremacist? With white supremacist ideology? Uh-huh. Yes, I think so. I think that's the reason why white supremacists find Kyle Rittenhouse to be a hero. Because the actions of Kyle Rittenhouse are consistent with white supremacy ideology. And are inconsistent with American ideology. Now, there have been those who have claimed to wear the mantle of American ideology and proclaim white supremacy to be that ideology, but they are incorrect. They can say whatever they want. They're wrong. The material conditions the material conditions show otherwise. Self-evident. This nation was built on stolen land by stolen people. So, while the beneficiaries of the system might want to say that's the ideology of the system, it's only because they hold the power right now. The ruling ideas of an age are the ideas of the ruling class. But it won't be that way for much longer. It can't. It can't. The same decay that befalls Russia is befalling the United States because it's the same contradiction. Yeah, that was about it. Hey, Chanti, good morning. Hey, you came at the very tail end. I was about to like sign off because I'm not really sure what else to do. I'm like, oh, I said my piece. I showed off the stuff. Um, I can teach you how to use this machine, but I think you're already good with the dye. I think what you're missing is gravel and sand. I made a train line to get sand. The gravel, you just gotta find it. Like, and it's pretty common. It's all over the place. Just gotta dig it up. Like, if you have a mine, you will run into it. I guarantee it. But I got you a little bit more gravel, so you can make it more concrete. But I dig what you're doing here. I like what you're doing. Keep it up. Keep it going. Although I fell. You might want to put some like a rail or something. I fell off your stairs. Like I forgot, right? I was checking out your place. I was like, oh yeah, cool place, cool place. I forgot that I was like, la 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 la. Oh yeah, it's really cool. Ah! maybe put some like water here or something, so when you fall down, it doesn't hurt. I don't know. Like it doesn't hurt me because I have like feather falling 4, but someone else might die. Yeah, the United States is going to work out a deal with Poland. Poland is going to give Ukraine its old Soviet planes, old Russian planes, because the Ukrainians know how to fly those planes, and in return, and then the Americans are going to give the Polish their old American planes. It all works out. Hey, I think that's a good idea. That way, everyone's happy. Well, except for the Russian military, but except for Putin. Putin wouldn't be happy. Yeah, the idea is that there cannot be direct military conflict between NATO and Russia, but NATO can like give Ukraine all the stuff it wants. It can, and if Russia can't stop them, well then. Yeah, but there's still stuff going on here. We can't forget about what's going on here. Like, I'm pretty bummed out about the about voting rights. I don't know what we're gonna do about voting rights. That's like a major thing, and like that just got murdered here because of Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin murdered voting rights. The spiritual reincarnation of Robert E. Lee. He murdered voting rights. But screw that guy. What else to talk about? Something funny, something nice? I don't know. I think that's about it. I think that'll do it for me. Hang in there, Ukraine. Hang in there, America. We gotta hang in there too, right? Because we got stuff going on. We'll see. We'll see. Until next time. All right. Pogo Kiddo out. Peace.